Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Yes, that's right. It's time for another edition of Sarcastic Distractions, the interesting podcast for interesting people. Featuring, as always, the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. Myself, Harvey, my heterosexual life mate, David,
Hello.
and the
Your
ever
friendly neighborhood AJ.
Oh, nice. Looks like you're responsible for your own intros now.
Just that one. I had to cut you off on that one.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And in case you're wondering, today we are discussing what I think is our favorite film genre. And that is, well, at least the most watched anyway, comic book movies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 18th century period films.
Yeah, definitely.
18th century
Well,
films. If such a thing
well,
existed,
set
I
in
would watch it.
Period
Oh,
films.
okay, gotcha.
You're a Jane Austen fan, right? That's what
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Right?
Well, everybody watches them.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. If Batman was alive in Jane Austen times, we would totally
Oh,
know
yeah.
about that, right?
yeah.
Comic
Yes,
book movies.
comic movies. So we're going to discuss our favorites, with ones that we like, what we don't like, compare some of them, and kind of what we see coming, ones coming in the future, and go from there.
Oh, the ones coming in the future will just be the comic books done
Pretty much
in
yeah.
movies.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because, like, I think there's a start. Because I mean, believe it or not, comic book films have been around for some time, right? I mean, we had the
50s.
50s.
I
At
always
least some
remember-
sort of iteration.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least. Definitely
That
not
was the
in,
Superman and the
Yeah.
slightly pudgy one.
yeah, and the Batman with the floppy
Yeah,
ears
yeah,
thing
yeah.
too. Yeah.
They also had The Shadow
Yes, the Shadow back in
Oh,
the, that was
yeah.
in the
And the
30s, wasn't
and
it?
the Phantom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is
yeah.
funny. Those are two
Those
movies
were
they
more
tried
like
to
radio
make.
shows. Yeah.
And they both did not turn out well at
No.
all.
No.
I
No.
agree. I was so looking forward to the Phantom too, and I'm like,
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
not turn out well.
yeah.
Oh, well.
Billy Zane. Come on, man.
How could you fuck up the Shadow with Alec Baldwin though? That to me is like how,
Yeah.
but they did it. So
Bad writing.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we got those movies at a time when like it was a trickle effect of comic book films where you like one,
Yeah.
maybe two a year.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
If you're
wasn't.
lucky.
It wasn't a thing. It
No.
wasn't a
Right.
big deal.
Yeah.
Right. And
Well,
now,
Yes, yeah. I can, Batman in the late 80s, like that was a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah, like that was a huge. Mwah.
blew everything out.
And
of the water.
then other Batman 2, I'm okay with. Well, not as good, but I was okay with. And then after that, it was a whole lot of comic movies
'Kay.
became just that. Yeah, I don't want to watch.
We're gonna have to stop right there, sir, for just a moment.
have. Okay.
Batman Returns is a great movie, and I would say
It's
it's,
a
almost
Piece of cinematic masterpiece.
it is almost as good as the '89 Batman. Like
I'm
they
not
are,
saying it's
they are
bad. It's
pretty
just
comparable.
I don't know. I always got the meh.
yeah, I get you.
Like, let's be honest. The best Batman is the '60s one. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well yeah.
Pow!
Adam
Wham!
West for the win.
Exactly.
I agree.
Bat shark repellent spray.
Yes,
Gotta
for
love
sure,
it.
for sure.
Oh my gosh, that whole sequence with the bat copter hanging
Yeah.
there. Oh,
Yeah.
the great.
When he's running
Just-
around trying to dispose of the bomb,
Running with the bomb across
and he
the
keeps
field.
running into like nuns or like
Yeah,
old ladies,
children,
children.
yeah, family.
That was so good. I still say, in terms of film jokers, I love Cesar Romero. Like, I love
yeah.
him so much. He was such a great.
He plays the clown.
He does
the
play the
best.
clown.
Yeah.
With a little bit of derangement
Oh, for
to it,
sure.
just
Yeah,
a
for
tiny
sure.
bit, but
Tiny.
it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, he holds up well if you're a child or if you're an adult. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna watch The Dark Knight, and you know what I mean, and if you're a child and get that same sort of kind of gravitas.
Oh no,
from,
that was just pure
No.
psycho.
no, that was yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good Psycho, though.
It sure was.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah,
it
that was a good one.
It was a great interpretation because of how they've set it out in the comics too.
right.
Whereas he's not always the same personality. He doesn't always have that same, like, there's the clown and then there's the psycho and
Mhm.
then there's right
Yeah.
the comedian.
There's
which
always
is-
the
It's-
varieties.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
varying degrees of who the Joker is. So
Yeah.
it works.
Did you guys like the movie The Joker?
I did.
I very much did.
I
Yes.
did.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a meh on it.
Oh,
I was-
really?
Yeah.
I'm very surprised. What
Yeah.
was the Met part? It
I
just
don't know.
didn't
I just
grab you?
I like it was a good kind of build up to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like I have to admit, I really did like the scene where he does shot the host of the talk show thing.
Did you see that coming?
I have to admit, I did not.
I did not either.
I
It
did
was like,
not.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
where
it was
this is
crazy.
going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you know what. So I had a different expectation where I thought I was going to see a lot more Joker, like really. And so the build up to it was well done, but it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I must admit, though, the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, edge of the seat, just what the F?
I would say that whole 10, 15 minutes that you're talking about
Yeah.
is a quintessential Joker. Like, that's everything you know him to be. But I can see your point. Like, it is a weird road getting there, and it can be like, yeah.
It wasn't bad. It just it didn't pop
For me, watching that film, I did love it because when I did all the research about it coming out and whatnot, I found out that it's supposed to be a standalone film, doesn't exist inside of continuity. I'm like, oh, great, that's awesome. We're gonna get like a Joker origin idea, which we don't really have because there's so many different origins. Yeah. But then you get it, like, because I thought it was standalone. Oh yeah, this is really, really great. But then apparently the writers and directors came out and said that actually very well may be canon. It may be one origin of one Joker and possibly the Batman. There may actually be other origins for sequels of.
Oh, gotcha. I see where you're going.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's business coming in.
Yeah, I'll let it slide, But that means your sequels better be just as good as this one, right? Like, I mean, yeah. But
that's one thing I'll give the Marvels.
Oh yeah,
and they've done a pretty good job, I think.
I think they have. It's everyone shits on Marvel now, but I think a lot of people forget that in the late '90s they were bankrupt. Like they lost a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
They almost lost the company, everything. Iron Man. Well, first off, how they saved themselves. They licensed out Spider-Man to Sony, X-Men to Fox. I don't know, whatever else. If they did anything else.
Oh yeah,
The whole.
because they had a Punisher movie.
Yeah,
that they did.
They did. Yes,
in, like,
I was
the
great.
early
I like
90s
that
with-
one.
I love that movie
Which
so
one,
much.
though? The one with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course I
I
would.
enjoyed that
Actually,
one.
all the Punishers I like, but that's like my favorite one.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
remember watching that
Yeah.
one on late night telly at my cousin's house.
Oh.
Shit.
Every time I met that one female assassin when she clicks the boot and the knife comes out of her boot, like, I want that. How do I do with it? But I want that so bad.
Oh yeah, that was a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Just
Yeah, they
remember, when you
licensed
get
out
that,
to
don't
other-
cross the border.
No, well, no,
Yeah,
no cross
yeah.
the border.
No more
blades
razors in
in
her
your
shoes.
For sure. But I did like the Punisher movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love him.
Mhm.
But anyways, they'd licensed all these things out. And then 2006 was Iron Man, or 2008. 2008?
I don't-
I think it was
couldn't tell
2008.
I think it was 2007.
It was 2008. That was a gamble. The whole thing was a gamble for them. Like, they had no idea where the hell it was going to go with to make
It
an
was a
Iron
good
Man
job.
movie. Oh, they did a great job.
It was a
Like,
good job.
Robert Downey Jr. was a perfect casting, and if you
Yeah.
learn about the
Yes.
story, like,
Yeah.
and then that set off this whole decade-plus universe that they
Where
got
they're
now.
kind of intertwined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Iron Man
crazy.
will show up for that moment.
Yep.
Sometimes be helpful, sometimes kind of being an ass.
Or even this, look what they've done. They've been able to figure out a way for studios to play well with each other. So Spider-Man being this, Sony Marvel character, but only allowed to be on Sony films. How are they able to play together so Marvel could put him in his films and they can, you know what I mean? Like, that's great that they were able to do that.
I think they understood the potential
lots
benefit
of
to
long talk.
AKA money.
talks and
Money.
monies.
Lots of money.
Yeah, like come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. The real winner in all that is Tom Holland, because he's like, oh, you want me, do you? Oh well, no, I think I need another $20 million for this
Right?
next film. Yeah, good for him.
Hey,
Why not? Right?
Didn't he
Yeah.
sign on for like another 3 with Sony?
I think so. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Which is crazy. I'm very excited for the new one. It'll be up by the time this airs.
No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very excited.
I'm curious.
I found that one funny because I have to admit I'm not a big Spider-Man. I have the recent ones I've seen them on the Netflix and things of this nature, and they've been good. But when I went to go look at the Matrix, like, well, how is this only in one theater? And I saw the other flick, Spider-Man, which
Yeah,
is
that's
the
why.
rest of the
Yeah.
theater.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. And Marvel bought up all those theaters. For sure they did. Yeah.
Well, I also, and again, I don't know who said this to me, to be perfectly honest, but somebody actually said to me, Dave, it's ageism. It's
Yep.
for the majority of teenagers, Matrix is nothing to them.
Yeah. Think about
That's
like
true. That's true.
Think about it like this. It's a great example. For us, The Matrix is everything because that was our big kind of.
Yeah,
Explosive
it hit
thing.
that perfect time for
And
us.
we still watch iterations of The Matrix today whenever we do, whatever. Whereas the general populace hasn't. However, Spider-Man has been at the head of the table when it comes to popularity forever.
Oh, decades.
And I mean, these movies have only just furthered that on top of all the other Marvel stuff. To be honest with you, it didn't have to be Spider-Man No Way Home. Insert any Marvel movie, and it would have taken up the whole theater, right?
Yeah.
For sure. So, like, we're getting Eternals movies. Do you guys even know who the Eternals are?
Nope.
No, exactly. It's like,
Nope.
only fucking
And nor do I
massive
care.
comic book geeks like me know who the Eternals are. And the fact that they're fucking making movies with them, like, what is going on? It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
So we're getting all these films, you know?
I'm not terribly surprised when you look back in the history, especially in the Marvel, and you kind of already brought it up. Like it started with Iron Man, but then when they started to have that little bit of a success, like Spider-Man might have been a touch before that, but
Yeah, 2002.
yeah,
The first one.
But that was still a pretty good one for that
yeah, for
time
sure.
period.
They were
and
great.
they just started building and building, doing the intertwine. And like again, I'm not a huge comic book guy, but I will admit I always try to watch the movies at least once.
For sure, yeah. They do a really good job, especially with synergy being such a focal point for them now. They do a really good job of telling the stories that you would have read in the books on film, and in a digestible way.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, like we talked about this, The Watchmen, which you did not like,
I
right?
did not like.
And you did like.
I did.
I did like. I like
You've been
both.
outvoted.
Yes, you've been outvoted.
That's okay. Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Well, I shared that on the
Okay,
Facebook,
yeah,
didn't I?
I guess you did, yeah. But with the comic book, there's so much material in it. There was just no way they could have properly adapted it to film, so they didn't. They decided to
cut.
Take. And I thought they did a really great job of doing that. However, if you want the full experience, go read the fucking book. You know what I mean? Like you get the full piece about it.
It's kind of how I feel about The Crow.
Are you gonna shit The Crow?
No.
Okay, go on.
The movie's great.
Yeah.
The comic book's great.
Uh-huh.
But they're very
Oh, gotcha.
Very different. Yeah.
from each other. They took bits from the book and kind of used it in, well, I guess the book's broken down in stories,
Right.
different chapters, and there's only like
part
of that going on in the movie,
Mm.
and then he kind of does other stuff.
Huh.
There's more adventures with Eric Draven.
That's true.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah,
I
that
did
makes
not
sense.
know that.
Yeah.
Well, I've just been educated.
Did you like the Crow TV show?
I didn't like anything after that first movie. I mean,
Yeah,
I
probably
got
agree
the
with you
idea.
there.
I got the concept because the idea is it's not the same character every time.
Right.
It's always a different
Gotcha.
crow, right? Because
Right.
that's like the crow moves on to the next
Yeah.
dead person who needs to deal with whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just mishandled the property after the
Yeah.
first one. I was looking forward to Jason Momoa portraying the crow, but that's kind of been put into production hell.
Oh, that would be great actually if you could pull it off. I mean, if
They
were
were like getting ready to do it. He'd
Yeah.
done makeup
Really?
tests and
Wow.
everything, yeah. And then
He'd
they
kill
just kind of shelved it.
I mean, what can't
Shitty
Jason
deal.
Momoa do? That guy's a fucking
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
pretty-
god amongst men.
He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I have to admit, though, The Crow's one of those movies. It'd be hard.
Yeah, I mean, you got lightning in a bottle, and it sucks that we lost a really great life out of that movie, but it was such a good movie.
It was
Oh, it's
good.
such a great film.
So
Yeah.
great. And yeah, but I think you're right. I don't know how.
I'm not
it's
saying
so
no. I'm just saying
difficult.
I
It
have
would
to
be
admit.
incredibly difficult.
I would walk into that flick and just be like, all right, prove yourself to me.
Well, it's like the whole Superman thing, right? You
Oh,
can't-
hell yeah.
It's hard.
They're
They're finding it difficult to kind of capture that same essence
They
that
never will
the
be able
Christopher
to.
Reeve
No.
Superman
Yeah.
had.
Well, the thing is,
Henry Cavill's
sorry.
not bad.
Oh, I think he's fantastic.
He's
I don't think
Tom
he's.
or not Tom Welling. Brendan Ruth was good too.
I agree. I think
Again,
too. Yeah.
the movie though was kind of
There you go.
mishandled.
I think both those guys play amazing Superman. Superman.
Supermen.
Super guys.
Clarks. Kal-Els. But I think the writing kind of, or whatever it was, editing and whatnot, didn't do it
Yeah.
justice. You know, you didn't get that emotional gravitas that you got with Christopher Reeves or even George Reeves back
Well,
in the 50s.
I think part of it was for the Christopher Reeves anyway. Was there was some sort of levity to
Yeah.
the whole thing, whereas they just tried to make it too dark and gritty with the Superman Returns and then
Yeah, it was a little
reboot,
bit. Yeah.
right? Because there was there was jokes, there was fun. It was a fun time when you were watching the original Superman.
Yeah.
Movies.
You
Fun.
talking the 80s ones?
Yeah.
The Richard Donner ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great.
There was a fun time going on there. Like there was jokes and
Yeah, it was mostly camp, I would say. It was meant
Yeah.
to be that way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
it's supposed to be
then
fun.
they did what they kind of did, and it got a little too serious.
Yeah, the only one I can actually
Batman can be
remember.
serious.
Well, that's the one I mostly remember is the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember which flick that exactly was, but I was always amused. But yeah, they're trying to beat each other up until that moment of, oh wait, let's be friends, and then they're friends for the rest of the movie.
Oh yeah,
What is
was
it? I can't remember which one that is.
That was Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, Batman vs
Yeah,
Superman.
there you
Yeah,
go.
Martha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're-
Oh yeah. Like, and here's the thing: that had all the pieces to be fucking phenomenal, and they fucked it up.
It was to
Did
me.
it have the pieces to be phenomenal though? Because it was like 3 different stories.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The pieces were there. Maybe you shouldn't put them all together in one pot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, okay.
break them up. You know?
I got you.
Because that was it. Like, you're going along for the ride, and you're like, okay, all right, it's a good movie. Oh yeah, I'll let that slide. Whatever, I don't care about that. Oh yeah, that's fun. Second act comes up. Oh yeah, I'll let that slide. And then the third act, like, what the fuck? Just Doomsday, really? What?
Yeah.
It just was all.
Like if
messy.
you're gonna do The Dark Knight Returns as a movie, do The Dark Knight Returns as a
exactly.
movie.
Don't just
don't
take,
take a section
Don't-
of the entire story.
don't get a little
Yeah.
homage of
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah, so it was bad.
Hmm.
And then Doomsday was just.
Not knocking Zack
And
Snyder.
then I don't know where Wonder Woman was supposed to be in that whole Doomsday thing
I don't know either. Yeah.
because that never happened in the comic book.
No.
Well, that I give a bit of a pass on. I don't mind anytime you see something different when stories change over to a different medium, but it's more when they just try to do the straight copy. I get irritated. But I guess in comics that maybe is actually a bit wrong for me to say because there's a bit of the truth must stay.
Because it's already a storyboard,
Yeah,
Mm.
pretty much. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
It's what they decide to do a 1-for-1 remake of. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they don't want to do a screenshot. I'm down for that. But if you're trying to do like kind of like what AJ's saying, it's like, okay, you're trying to do like the death of Superman. Now you're involving the Justice League, who were not involved in that at all. And you're trying to make it like Justice League thing. Well, it takes away from the personal nature that was Batman. You know what I mean? Like, it just
Yeah.
kind of just is very disjointed. You know, but I hear you. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's like the
Yeah.
Marvel-y movies because and I cannot tell you which exact flick it was. It was it's when he cut away half the
Oh,
population.
Endgame.
Endgame.
No, not Endgame. It was
Infinity
Infinity
War.
Wars.
Infinity Wars. So there's the 2 parts to that,
Yeah.
right? So one thing I actually found amusing was that, like in especially the second part, you got to basically see every Marvel character,
Right.
which was kind of cool. I had
That
to give
was
a
neat.
plus.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm not a big comic book guy, and I enjoyed that one. I have to say.
I loved Infinity War. In fact, a lot of people hate me for saying this. I kind of wish it stopped there. I liked that movie so much, and the way they wrapped it all up. I was like, oh wow! It felt, even though all the heroes died, it felt very satisfying in the way it all kind of played out. Endgame was great. It was wonderful, but it just kind of felt like it undid a lot of the great work they did in Infinity
Yeah.
War. But whatever.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
I really liked it, and I thought Josh Brolin as Thanos was awesome.
yes, it was a good idea.
It was like
It's
I
good
enjoyed it.
casting.
Yeah.
For sure. I got a film series that I don't think gets enough justice. That would be the Blade movies.
Ultraman.
Oh, and Ultraman too.
The-
Ultraman.
yeah,
I don't know if I've
no.
seen Ultraman.
He's a Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Manga caricature.
Ultraman.
I don't know that.
He's
but,
weird. He's fine.
yeah, I don't know about the Blade movies. The first one, yes.
Yeah.
You mean Blade, like Vampire Blade?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, the first one. Yes.
There was one that was, I think, was it the second one that was like, bleh.
And then the third one
The
I
third
actually
was-
liked.
It was okay.
Yeah, because it had
Ryan
what?
Reynolds.
Deadpool.
Yeah,
Which really was his kind of
It was Deadpool.
reach into Deadpool. Really.
Deadpool. I do enjoy the Deadpool.
Oh, that's so good.
I love seeing that comic book Marvel. Like I think of X-Men the TV show, and then he's basically like, "Fuck you, Dave. Come
Yeah.
on, like I am fucking." It's just
Exactly.
yeah.
It's the best. You can't get better casting than that. Well, I mean, he not only was he perfectly cast for it, Ryan Reynolds railed for that film. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he put
Mm.
everything into making it.
He
so
did a great job.
great job.
Probably because he got a lot of shit for doing the Deadpool and the Origins.
Yeah, that wasn't his
X-Men
fault though, right? But yeah, definitely got a lot of shit for that.
He still read the script though.
he sure did. Yeah, he sure did.
I don't understand this story.
Okay, so with
Sorry,
you remember-
I need like a
do you
30
remember
second.
X-Men Origins Wolverine?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you remember Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool in that for a short period?
Potentially.
Okay, so what they did, you remember Deadpool from the 2 movies?
Yes.
It's like, right? He's nothing like that
No.
at all.
Well,
In fact,
he
they
is Wade Wilson when he's not Deadpool.
Right.
Okay. So
And
it's not
then when
Deadpool
they
yet.
go to
kinda-
experiment on him, they put fucking swords in his arms. They completely sew his mouth shut so he can't talk.
Yeah,
Right.
they give him laser beam eyes.
Yeah, there's no mask or anything.
The
And he's like
idea-
some sort of
The
Crazy,
idea is
yeah.
he's a pool of a bunch of other mutants' abilities that they've captured in this movie,
Okay.
So bad. It's so bad.
and he's the Deadpool.
Yeah, it's so
Oh, and this is before Deadpool was actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And
Okay.
it was terrible.
to Ryan Reynolds' credit, he did not play the character after the Wade Wilson scenes.
Oh no!
No, it was some other actor who did it.
Oh, it was probably dude who did Darth Maul or something.
Probably. I don't know who it was. Probably right. Ray Park.
Ray Park.
He does
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anything that's action oriented.
I was gonna say it's action, it's martial
It's him,
arts.
yeah.
You can
Ray
barely
Park.
see his face. It's probably
That guy
Ray
better
Park.
not die. Because if he dies,
Oh, we're screwed
we're
for kung fu
screwed for
movies.
action.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, so they just did a really bad job at presenting that Deadpool character, and because of that movie, there was never a chance of a Deadpool movie getting made. Like it's just
okay.
never going to happen. And then it was Ryan Reynolds who did like a little test screening, and magically it got leaked to the internet,
Oh yes.
and
yes,
everybody
okay.
saw the whole 3 minute, 4 minute,
Yeah.
which is basically the opening intro to the first Deadpool film.
Okay, nice.
Right. And as soon as Fox saw that, they're like, "Well,
Yeah, we'll spend money.
how do we
Yeah.
say no to that?" Right? And it's like, "Oh, now give us money."
Yeah.
And they got some money.
I
and-
enjoy those two. So however the hell it got to be made, thank you for
I'll
everybody
take it.
involved in the good. Anybody that
Thank
was
you for
involved
making it.
in the bad, you can go sit over there.
Yeah,
please.
get over there.
Yeah, yeah.
please. We don't.
Yeah.
want you-
Are we gonna talk about bad or disappointing?
Sure. I got
Yeah,
lots
the
of
Hulk.
disappointing- Which one?
The
Which one?
2008 one or back.
The
back.
Ang Lee one, the one where it does a whole paneling crossing.
Yeah,
thing.
just that
Yeah,
one.
I
Well,
know
you and
that
I
one.
went to see that in the theater,
Yeah.
and
That
it
was like
had.
the best part of the movie was the
it
comic
had-
book panel thing.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan personally.
I agree.
It had what's his name?
Eric,
The Hulk
Eric
was
Banana.
Eric Bana, or is it Ed
Yeah,
Norton?
Ed Norton. Sounds
Ed
right.
Norton. That's the one you're thinking.
Yeah,
of.
Ed Norton.
So you
Yeah.
think of the other Hulk one? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Ed Norton was in it, which sucks
Yes,
because of course I always
barely
think-
remember that one.
Oh, it was. I
I
was
barely
rough.
remember it.
It could have been so much better. The best thing about that was Tim Roth as Abomination, but like, it's just so fucking disjointed.
That's when they were trying to kickstart the MCU.
they were. Yeah, that was their second film. I think it was Iron Man, then that, and then Thor. And
I don't even think they count
Captain
that
America?
as. I don't even think
No,
they
it's not.
count that as canon.
they do because they have to in a weird way. Because George Thunderbolt Ross is still in there, and he's a part of the MCU too. And there's a couple of other characters, and I think Abomination. We just saw him.
Yeah, but you can do
in,
that. They did that with
Venom
J.K.
2.
Simmons.
You
J.K.
can.
Simmons,
Well, now-
Simmons.
Now that we have the multiverse thing happening, we can do that. But I don't think at that
yeah,
time
but
you
even,
could.
even before the multiverse was a thing, J.K. Simmons was J. Jonah Jameson in 2 properties.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I think though with that movie, it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's part of canon, but we don't want to talk about it.
But we don't want to.
It's only because Hulk exists. That's the only reason why.
Because like you go on Disney Plus and they have the Marvel in timeline order.
yeah, yeah.
It's not in there.
I think that's because it's a Universal film
Oh,
that we buy, so you
maybe.
can't get on Disney Plus.
So we can blame Universal for
Yeah,
it. Then.
damn you,
Okay.
Universal.
Damn
Just
you.
kidding.
Yeah, that's always the one that pops in my head as a not a fan.
Did not like that.
I
one.
was very
Agreed.
disappointed. Very, very.
and they have
disappointed.
yet to do one with Mark Ruffalo, right? Or did they do
They
one with-
can't, and this is another thing. It's so fucked up. That's why we got Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
Is because this is a very similar situation with Spider-Man. Universal owns the cinematic rights to the Hulk. Marvel obviously owns the rights to the Hulk.
the character.
So they can't outright make a Hulk movie, but they can have him in other movies.
He could be
Gotcha.
a character,
Right.
probably one of those up to a certain amount of time
Something
to be
like that.
released based on the overall
Exactly.
length of the flick and blah blah blah.
Exactly. And that's what we got Thor Ragnarok, which is really just a buddy film of Thor
Yeah.
and the Hulk,
Hmm.
right? And that, yeah. Speaking of bad Hulk films, that Ang Lee one with Eric Bana was not very good either. That was the one before the one
Boring.
you're talking about. I really wanted it to be good. Like all the actors are great. I think Ang Lee's a fantastic director, and I'm just like, I'm fucking passing out, man.
I don't
Hi-
remember that movie at all.
Bro, Jennifer Connelly was in it.
it was basically Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't really remember it still.
It was like a retelling of the story of Frankenstein with the Hulk.
Exactly. And they tried to do the whole like horror trope. Uh-oh, someone's here. The horror trope of is that me?
No, that was me.
Okay. They tried to do the whole horror trope of like making you wait to see the Hulk and stuff, but it just did not land. It was just, I don't know.
Honestly, I don't remember that one. So,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
good for me. I don't need to watch it, though. But if we're going to talk about the Hulk, we do have to say how great the 80s TV show was.
Yes. yes. That show was fantastic. I remember being such a nerd back then. And they had their little version of Daredevil and Thor, which you know, was like,
yeah.
I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe these characters were on screen at all.
Thor was just this big Viking dude
Yeah.
And,
in like fur.
and what was
Yep.
Daredevil? Just a guy with basically looked like for
Like
the show,
pajamas.
yeah, pajamas and a mask. It was great. It was great.
That was a
back in the day.
fun. I remember that show.
Yeah.
It was such a great one to watch.
It was
Well,
really
they had
fun.
plenty. They had a Captain America TV show for a while,
They did.
which I believe ended up being a movie. Which they actually did a Captain America movie in the '90s,
Yes, and I've seen that movie.
which was terrible.
Horrible.
And then
I
there's
don't
the
think I've seen it.
Absolutely
then there's
shit.
the Spider-Mans, the
Yep.
movies
Yep.
that were terrible.
Yep. And the Japanese ones?
Japanese
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. I was saying, I don't
Where
know
he's
if there's
like-
any other
Oh no,
ones.
there's an American one which is terrible, but there's also Japanese Spider-Man, which is even. It's,
It's so
I
ridiculous.
don't even want to say it's terrible. It's just fucking ridiculous.
It's loosely based on Spider-Man. Like,
Oh, okay.
It's the
There's a
costume-
Spider-Man costume in it.
yeah, and I think he has his powers, or some of them anyway. Maybe
Yeah,
not all of them.
Not all, maybe.
But there's no Peter Parker. There's nothing like that. Like, it's a
Oh, okay.
whole thing. Yeah.
different.
It's
thing.
ridiculous, but it's fun. It's it's a good time.
Redonkulous.
I don't think I've
Ridiculous.
seen that one. I must admit.
Yeah, I don't. What are some really bad ones out there? I mean, that Captain
Oh,
America
man.
'90s one was bad. The Fantastic Four that never
The
got released
original
was bad.
Oh,
The original Fantastic Four
Four.
too.
Oh, I forgot about
No, like
that.
the original one that they did in the like late '80s.
That they
early
didn't
90s.
release,
That-
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that was really bad. But the ones you're talking about,
Nah, that
those
was
were also-
I really another I wanted
I can't
to like.
say that I hated the first one. I didn't mind the first Fantastic Four, the one with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans.
yeah.
I didn't hate the first one because I kind of understood what was going on, that they wanted to
Yeah.
make more, so it was an introduction movie.
Sure.
basically.
Mm.
But then the second one was just boring.
Second was they were
I don't
jerks.
think I've
So
ever seen it.
boring.
I'll say this about the first one. I liked all the performances. I thought they did a really great job. And I think they told a pretty decent story in it. But I thought their mishandling of Doctor Doom was fucking dumb. but other than that, I think I agree. I like the movie for the most part. The second one, when did Galactus turn into a giant cloud?
A giant star
Ah,
cloud.
so
yeah.
stupid. And the thing is, like, they kind of got Silver Surfer right in that film. Like, he's pretty much like what I know Silver Surfer
Yeah.
to be. So it was really weird for them to go that route. Maybe they ran out of money. Like, we can't afford a giant ass, planet eater.
Dude,
so let's
yeah.
just, let's just give him a gaseous, starry cloud. Let's just do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But is there a comic book movie or a comic book property that hasn't mishandled something?
I'd say Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ah, good call.
I
out.
don't think
And those are
they've-
fun to watch.
They're probably my favorite of the Marvel films. I love them.
Ooh,
I
wow.
they make me laugh in ways that
I think
nobody
there
else
needs to
does.
be more Novacore in the story.
Well, yeah, but I think I want to see more Novacore, but they've already shown it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's
Well,
not
they, showed
like-
they showed at the beginning of Guardians.
yeah. I don't think that takes away from the films though that we've
It
gotten.
was good. One thing I like about those is I find it's a good one that I can sit there and have a good time as I play great music.
Yeah,
Fuck, I love it. And they better
Unbelievable.
keep that up. Play great music. But then along with that, it's a good combination of adult. Oh yeah, well the kid can sit there and smile,
yeah.
and then kids can also enjoy it. It's a good
Yeah.
Oh,
family.
wonderful job.
Keep
Yeah.
making Deadpool
They
too,
did,
but
they did mishandle it. Vin Diesel.
Right, right. He is Groot.
He's not.
He's Groot. I was gonna say,
He's
isn't that
not
his
allowed
best?
to be in anything.
Okay, I was gonna say, isn't that like his best performance ever?
When he went in the one day,
Yeah, the one day
said
"Oh,
I am
I'm
Groot like 17 different ways,
and then we are Groot, and that was it.
and then that's it.
That's
Yeah,
the day. Yeah,
and then they used it for 3 movies.
exactly.
that's awesome. I didn't
Probably
realize
is,
that.
Oh, I'm sure that's what they did.
I'm sure that's it. It's not like they're calling him. Yeah, hey Vin, we got to have you come back and.
Yeah, we
Do
need to
recall.
change your gutter oil just
Yeah.
a touch.
That's how it is.
am Groot. Oh, okay, we got it.
Which means you're probably right. Let's be generous. Let's say a week's worth of work. Let's say. I don't know why, but let's say. How much did he get paid for that week's worth of work?
Right?
Probably
a few
enough.
million. Yeah.
Like a lot of fucking
To
money.
say 3 words.
Yeah, he's gonna listen to this podcast and just laugh and be like, "You idiots."
Listen, if Vin Diesel is listening to our podcast,
He can say whatever he wants.
sure the fuck can.
But he has to come in person.
Pitch Black was the shit, yo.
Yes, Pitch Black was shit, yo.
Oh, I like Pitch Black, but that's whatever. Everyone.
I'm trying to think.
Speaking
Is
of
there a
comic
Vin
books.
Diesel movie I really enjoy though? Shit. Yeah, I can't
Oh.
think of it. I'd have to probably IMDb
Yes, there's
it.
one.
Saving Private Ryan. He gets shot like 2 minutes into it.
No,
I wouldn't hold that.
yeah, no. There was a movie that I
that's
saw
what's
where he
about
played a
my favorite
father,
one.
and I really liked him in it. He played like a father who was like a bodyguard or something. Man Apart.
Oh,
Man Apart.
yeah.
I like that movie. That's
Which
really
one?
good. A Man Apart, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've seen
Yeah.
that one. I have to admit.
it's
All
good.
right,
And
I'll
he
have to IMDb it. And
did a
see.
brothers movie that I think he was okay in. He don't get me wrong. Like I'm having to pluck out
A
hairs
brothers
here.
movie? You mean Fast and the Furious?
No. It's called.
Because
Four
it's all about
Brothers.
family, Chris.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm
Fast
not a
and
big
Furious,
fan.
The
of
original was
Yeah.
okay. I like that one.
They're fun, stupid, whatever. But I don't know if I'd pay money to go see them. You know what I mean?
Oh,
'Cause
God,
they're-
no.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would pay time to go see them.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, if I'm doing knitting or
like
something, then,
Being
you know.
murdered with a tiny little knife
One of the
for
reasons.
an hour. Somebody's just stabbing you.
One of the reasons why he did the role of Groot is to leave options open for other roles that he could do. What he
Oh,
would
I thought you
do.
meant for other people to be
Ah,
Groot.
no, for Vin Diesel to be somebody else within the MCU if there was going to be another role. I don't know who he'd play. I mean, I put him up as Drax. Outside of that, I don't know who else he could.
But
do.
no, Dave Bautista is
Oh,
Drax.
he's the best. He's of course.
I don't think he's coming back, though.
He'll do the next movie, and that'll probably be it.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm confident. He loves James Gunn, and James Gunn loves him. So I'm sure. I'm confident.
They'll figure it
They'll
out.
figure it out,
Yeah,
yeah.
they got it.
But I think James only wants to do one more, and then that's it for
Yeah.
Guardians. So, and I think that's right. Like you don't want.
Yeah, you can't keep doing it over and
Yeah,
over.
because they kind of fired him.
Yeah, but then they hired him back. So these
Yeah.
things work. Go the way they do.
So like, oh crap, Warner's got you now. Shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, and by the way, he fucking made a really great Suicide Squad.
It
movie.
was pretty good.
It was a lot of fun. I was like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the recent one. I have to.
oh, you really should see it.
So
Should I?
much-
Because I
so
saw the
much better.
first. Not quite suicide, but the.
Yeah. It was okay.
Yeah.
So as good as Vin Diesel is as Groot,
Okay.
Sly Stallone is like a million times better as King Shark.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
you won't even know it's him.
Okay, I have to
You will
watch
see it
this.
like what?
And
These guys.
Just-
You gotta see it. It's great.
okay.
Oh, it's
All
good.
right. I
And
shall get
I
this
would
on the
say
list.
John
John Cena?
Cena's best role. Best role.
John Cena was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
he get chills thinking about it.
Shit, I almost want to watch this tonight. Now.
I'm
Fuck.
probably gonna watch it tonight. I liked it a lot.
I watched it not too long ago.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Polka Dot Man was great.
Margot Robbie's portrayal of Harley
Ah.
is always great.
Quintessential.
Yeah.
She said she played that role for the rest of her life. She could.
Quintessential.
Ah, there you go. Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, I know because that was probably the best part of the original Suicide Squad. The first
Yeah.
Suicide Squad movie
Definitely.
was her performance.
Guaranteed.
And I mean, Will Smith's Will Smith.
Yeah, he was good.
He's just
okay.
Will Smith's it
What
up.
it was.
He Will Smith's it up. If
There was-
he's gonna go and be Fresh Prince, that's cool.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince with guns, cool.
Sure, why not? Why not? Yeah. He just wanted a piece of that comic book movie money.
Fresh Prince with the tennis racket, cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
All right.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know how to respond to this.
I don't either. Let's stop talking about the movie.
All right.
No offense to David Ayer who directed it, but it was not as good as the newest one made. Not even.
No, I haven't seen the
And
news
that-
because
well, that
I
was
really didn't like the
Studio's
original.
fault too. Studio. had
It
all
was,
that.
yeah. It wasn't David Ayer's fault. I
No.
know. It was production has been production.
What
has.
was the one that got remade too? I should know the name of this. I still haven't watched the remake though.
What?
It was the Batman-y one, wasn't it? Or something.
Mm,
Shit. What was the one that they did a whole re-release of it on the DC side?
Oh, Justice League.
Was it Justice
Oh
League?
yeah. The
Yeah.
one where they just did the
With Snyder
4-hour.
Cut.
Yeah. I still haven't seen that one either.
If you got the time, it's worth it.
okay.
Yes.
It's really worth it.
Well,
Like,
I have some
it's really
time
good.
coming up. I,
I guess
I
you
got
do.
2 weeks of no work.
put 4 hours in, grab an edible, and
Well-
enjoy. Just don't expect all of the story to make sense. And there's a few parts
Okay.
that are a little long, like that singing scene, and Aquaman's going. It's a couple of weird things. You're like, what? Why did they do that? But other than that, I thought. It was
Okay,
really
that's
well
one I
done.
still haven't seen. I know we've chatted about it a
Sure.
bit already, but yeah, I haven't seen that
It
one.
looks really good,
It does look really
like
good.
visually.
Okay, nice. All
What's
right.
crazy though is when you see that. Yeah, I know it's a 4-hour movie. When you see what they could do versus what we got, you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you guys really dropped the ball like a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like, what were you thinking? Like, I just like to know who was cutting what and where. Like,
Yeah.
what were your decisions coming from? Because you got a hack job of a fucking film.
Well, it's probably Joss Whedon.
Yeah, probably was Joss Whedon. Oh
probably
boy,
him saying-
he's been ostracized from Hollywood, hasn't
yeah.
he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because he did the I know there's the whole story.
Yeah,
Zack Snyder started it.
Yeah, and then he had to
leave for
drop, and the other
family.
guy
Yeah,
came
and
and
then-
redid. Yeah, I got you.
No, Joss Whedon is basically ostracized from Hollywood because apparently he's not fun to work with. Apparently he's a bully. And
shitty
he
deals.
puts crunches on people for no reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hearsay. I've never worked with the guy. What the fuck do I know? He made Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's what a lot of
Vampire
people
Slayer,
say
so.
who worked with him, though.
That's
The
true.
show
even-
or the movie?
both.
Oh, he did the movie.
Yep.
I really enjoyed the movie.
I really
too.
enjoyed the movie. The show, not so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, some aspects were cool, but I think you know what it was. We got the movie like at our age, which is why we liked
Yeah,
it.
true.
And then the show was what a few years later, like 5
Yeah.
years later, something like that.
We had
so
kind of
much
grown out
different.
of it.
It was very
And when I
different.
realized they were both Josh Whedon things, I was like, why you make them different, Josh?
I
Whedon?
didn't mind that it was different because when you're making that show, you have to keep it going to that
Yeah.
certain
You
extent.
could have
So,
still kept it going with the same idea they had in the
yeah, I don't know.
movie. Cheerleader,
They
high
could
school,
have, yeah,
vampires.
yeah.
Did they not do
Yeah.
the exactly that in the movie
The
or
only
the show?
one thing I didn't like about the show, it didn't have that comedy element.
That
like,
was my
which-
issue with
Yeah,
it,
the
yeah.
movie was all full of that. Like, yeah, okay,
It was
it's
fun.
yeah, she's a vampire hunter, but it's fucking
It
hilarious.
was fun.
And
I never really
and
watched
Pee-wee
the show
Herman,
enough.
Yeah,
You know that.
Oh,
yeah.
Pee Wee.
he'll never
So
be
good.
Paul Rubens. He's just
No.
Pee Wee.
Just Pee-wee.
Just
Yeah, but I
legally
like
changed his
that.
name to Paul Pee Wee Herman Rubens.
And I can't hate on Joss Whedon because he gives both the first two Avengers films, and they were pretty great. Like that first
Yeah.
Avengers film, that was like wow.
So it's probably what maybe set him up for having that unfortunate moment where he was, I did all of this. Bow to
Oh,
me.
apparently it was like that during Buffy.
Apparently,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad. I hope. Well,
He just got some power and
ran and run with it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's hard too when you're both the writer, director, and let's say showrunner. Like it's all on you, so you have a very kind of singleized vision.
Hmm.
So you obviously want people to follow that. It doesn't
You
give
don't
you the
have to
right
be
to
in
treat
mean
people like
pants.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, but you can still get your point across without doing that. And we only know that from experience. So there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, what time are we at? Just so I know.
11.
So cool. Yeah, I very much.
I had a list here.
I very much.
I wanted to bring look and bring
Sure.
some up that like Flash Gordon,
Oh yeah, old school Flash Gordon.
heavy metal.
Oh, I
Did
love
you guys
heavy
ever
metal.
like actually look at or read those heavy metal magazines?
Dude,
No. Oh, no, we
That's
did once.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I forgot about that.
high school
that's
we
where you
got
got the-
shit for them.
That's
Oh,
right.
because they're like
They weren't mine.
damn near.
No, they
porno.
weren't ours. They were BJ's.
Yeah, there were
but we
somebody's.
had them. So yeah, we would basically our homeroom class was French in grade 9. Grade 9?
Yeah,
BJ and I, and we would read heavy metal magazines and sleep. And yeah, of course we got shit because they're not.
I didn't mind the remake of even. Not the remake, but the updated
the sequel.
Yeah.
sequel.
I liked it.
Heavy
I thought it
Metal
was good.
2000.
Yeah, I
good.
thought it was
Yeah.
good.
But they're both
Not
classics.
as good, but
What
it was
about-
good.
Yeah.
What about Dick Tracy?
Oh, nice.
I actually liked the movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like
been a
it
while.
because of the fact that it was blatantly stylized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's blatantly
Yeah.
supposed to be somewhat campy,
Yeah.
somewhat scaled back.
Yep.
Right? It's supposed to have that feeling of being shot on a set.
Indeed. Yeah.
Right? Or a backlot kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like if you've ever taken a backlot tour at Universal or whatever and they
Yep.
have that city street sort of scene.
Yep.
Yeah. So it didn't feel like it was bad.
No.
It was it was purposefully forced, I guess, in a way, like
That was
the
the
performances
point, yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
If you go back and listen to any of the old Dick Tracy newsreels, like get that same sort of impression
Mm-hmm.
from what
Or even
those
the
were, right?
comics.
Yeah, even the comics. Yeah. So I mean, I think they did a really good job. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when was the last
Oh, the
time I seen
makeup
it?
was phenomenal in that
Unreal.
movie
I mean,
for all the villains and
I
stuff.
when I think of like Dick Tracy, and I think of, something like I'm drawing a blank now. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh yeah.
They could easily sit in the same world
Oh yeah.
because of the stylized presentation that they both have.
Roger will win though.
Oh, Roger will always
Oh,
win.
fuck it.
yeah. Poor Dick Tracy. Fuck
Ah,
him.
yeah, he's done.
He's done. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh yeah. That's actually a great book to read. It's not called Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's called Who Shot Roger Rabbit or Who Censored
yeah.
Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good.
Oh,
It's
really?
a really good book. I listened to the audio book of it.
Nice.
Sure. Nice.
I'll
And
try
it's
it
a
out.
really good,
I should give it a
really cool
listen.
story.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's much different than the movie.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It tells a different story
Mm-hmm.
to a degree.
Yeah.
Like, there's still the Jessica Rabbit cheating kind of
Mm-hmm.
storyline in it,
yeah.
but you don't get Toontown and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, that makes it fun though. Me too. Christopher Lloyd. Come on.
But
Anyways, so good. We were talking like, are there any films out there that don't, mistreat their properties? We talked about it last week. Both the Sin City movies. They are pretty much to a T what the book should be.
That's right.
And I think that's whether you're a fan of them or not. It's saying something. The fact that they were able to.
Can't say I was a fan of the second. The second was a little.
It was
as good.
okay.
It was. I think the problem with it they did it with Sin City.
Yeah.
It looked great.
Yep.
It played great, but then it was just too much. The next time it was like, you already gave us this.
Yeah,
we already got the exact same thing, right?
Yeah. That's was it Rodriguez who did that?
He did most. The first one was Rodriguez and Frank Miller.
Right.
That was his first directorial thing.
Right.
And I think there was something about Rodriguez giving up his director's card or whatever like that to have him co-direct.
Oh.
Because he wasn't part of the Directors Guild or something like that.
Right, yeah.
And then Tarantino did a scene where the scene in the car with who the fuck is it? Is it Bruce Willis and Benicio del Toro? Or Benicio del Toro has the thing stuck in his head?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Tarantino did that scene.
Nice. Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with you. The second one wasn't as.
It wasn't as good. And then they tried to do, what was it, The Spirit?
Yeah.
Which was another Frank Miller property that they tried to stylize it the same way.
Spirit was around way a long time ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
But he just redid his own thing. Which, yeah.
Tried to stylize it in that black, white, and red thing.
Yeah, which is fine, but like you said, man, it's too much.
We already got it.
Yeah, sure. All right. Well, as we're here, do you guys have a favorite comic book film that you can think of?
I have favorites.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah,
is definitely probably the top. There's still something about that movie that just it feels like almost like a play to me, like a stage play.
Oh yeah,
made it into a movie. Like Little Shop of Horrors was a stage play made into a movie or whatever, right? Like it just feels kind of has that performance. I always feel like that about Tim Burton's early stuff, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that about Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Batman. Yeah. They just seem like they could be presented on a two-dimensional, or I guess still three-dimensional, on a stage where you're just kind of looking at it. There's no revolving scenery.
Right.
I don't know. It comes across that way, and it's kind of cool. I like it.
The imagery from that movie will never leave me.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Whoa, nice.
The original, the first one.
You're talking the original. Yeah, I like them a lot. They hold up, by the way. When was the last time you watched it?
The first one, not too long ago, and that one to me holds up. The second and third definitely. The third just is
the third is
garbage.
Don't bother.
This garbage.
It was like a couple years ago. My wife and I were watching the first one just randomly. I was like, this movie's really good.
It's actually
solid.
A good. Yeah, like they tried to give a shit. It wasn't about making a movie to sell toys,
for sure.
Even though it was something that sold toys.
Yeah,
because they had the animated series before that.
Yeah,
and that was all about selling plastic, right?
Good animated series though.
Indeed, great series.
But it felt almost independent.
Yeah,
almost indie filmish, where they were
definitely
trying to focus on some kind of story.
Yeah.
Aside from,
I'm getting that scene. Sorry, of Raph in the burning antique shop, like that.
Oh,
whole
yeah.
sequence is like so indie. Like that's something you would never see in, like, not really like in a Hollywood film.
And then the second comes out and it's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
In real life.
Ooze.
True.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was entertaining, but it wasn't good.
No, it wasn't great. It was okay.
It was entertaining.
I mean, Vanilla Ice was in it. It has to be great.
Right. You watch that and then you watch Cold as Ice.
Oh man.
And then you're golden.
That's it. That's like
maybe some
you could die then. He's not happy.
Maybe whatever that celebrity Big Brother show was that VH1 had forever ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember that show. That was fucking
Oh, a
ridiculous.
vague recollection.
Yeah, it was like
Oh my
it was
God.
like Big Brother, and they had like washed
Yep.
up celebrities. And
Flavor
Yeah.
Flav's on there.
Flavor Flav,
Yeah.
Corey Feldman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice, Tammy Faye Baker,
Yeah.
MC Hammer, I think, was in there.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
He was now a reverend.
Reverend Hammer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Nice.
What about you, sir?
No, Batman. I agree on that one. Yeah, I must admit that is probably the one I will go back to and back to and back to.
Yeah, I'm probably the same.
Yeah,
I mean, out of the Marvel movies, I think Guardians is my
yeah, that's
favorite.
the
Like
good,
Marvel. If we're talking like
Yeah.
extended, how do you beat Deadpool? I don't know.
yeah,
I just don't know.
Deadpool. And,
Yeah. But I think ultimately,
Who is
I'm always
now
gonna
part
be
of
an
the
89.
MCU.
Yes, now he is. But
Yeah.
I'll definitely always go back to 89 Batman. So maybe
Yeah.
after Suicide Squad, I'll probably watch 89 Batman.
I have to watch
92
Suicide Squad.
Batman
I have to watch that.
because it's Christmas and fucking Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. So
That's a Christmas movie. Then you watch Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. Though.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
No, I'm afraid it's not.
Yeah.
You're incorrect still.
No, pretty sure.
Did you know? Did you know that sometimes Hanukkah happens at the same time as Christmas, so it could also be a Hanukkah movie?
At those times?
Yeah.
Or ultimately?
Just at those times. 'cause,
Okay.
I mean,
All right. So it's like a
it
leap
has
year
to
thing?
happen at those
Okay.
at,
Like,
at the time.
get the solstice going. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so let's watch Die Hard. So it's a Hanukkah movie.
It's a Hanukkah movie now. Yeah,
Once every 8 years.
something like that. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know how that works.
I don't either.
I don't either.
Awesome. Well, do we want to discuss any more comic book movie stuffs?
No, I'm good. This was
X-Men
awesome.
made me sad.
Oh, yeah, the first one?
All of them.
Whoa. First two are great.
They all made me sad
Why did they
Why
make
did
you
they make you sad?
sad?
because it wasn't the same as the comic books.
Oh, you
I remember back in like '94 when I read this. I think it was like Wizards magazine or whatever,
Yep.
and they told me that Glenn Danzig was going to be Wolverine.
Oh,
I
yes.
was pumped.
I
I was
remember that.
pumped.
I totally remember that wizard.
Yeah.
I totally remember exactly what you're talking about. And I remember back then, because I'm such an X-Men fan,
Yeah.
I'm such an X-Men fan that my buddy Adam and I would try to cast who we thought. Like, we thought Schwarzenegger was going to be Colossus.
Yep.
And for sure. And I think we had James Marsden wasn't even on our radar for Cyclops. Wolverine, who were we thinking for
No, because
Wolverine?
he was probably younger than you. He was in diapers. At
No,
that time.
James Marsden's like in his 50s now, buddy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
No. No.
Either way. And then we had someone really good picked for Wolverine, and then obviously we knew that Patrick Stewart was going to be Xavier.
And
We just knew.
Jean-Claude Van Damme could have been Gambit.
No, actually, we thought because we went to go see this weird movie called Heaven's Prisoners, and it was Julie Roberts' brother. What's his name?
Eric Roberts.
He could play Gambit because he was doing this Cajun accent. I had this whole thing going on in the film. Like, oh, I could be Gambit, but probably not. Anyways, and Patrick Stewart obviously is the best Professor Xavier.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, James McAvoy does a good job, but he's not Patrick Stewart.
No,
offense to him.
Patrick Stewart just has the look.
But I thought the first two movies were great. First Class wasn't horrible. It was good. It wasn't the greatest, but it was
No.
good. And I don't know. I hear you. But and then look what we got. We got fucking the Dark Phoenix, which sucked. And that was supposed to be your 90s X-Men movie. And then there's another one, and it sucked. So you know what? Like I was so excited.
Logan was good.
Logan,
Logan
I
was
liked.
Logan
amazing.
was great.
I like
Logan. You know what? I don't even consider that a comic book film because it's so adult. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And
Like,
it's not just adult like Deadpool adult.
No.
It's just the story.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
It's you feel like so bad for
Yeah.
Xavier and that like.
Oh my
you can
gosh.
feel like, and you like.
and
yeah.
James
Yeah.
Mangold went on record saying like the whole Shane Black the story
Mhm.
the movie that they're watching in it. He's like that's like his favorite movie. He goes, I purposely wanted to copy that movie,
Hmm.
and that's exactly beat for beat what you get with their story. And I'm like, just everything about it.
It was good.
is,
That was a good one.
amazing. I liked Logan so much.
Isn't
Yeah.
Shane Black the guy who was the guy in the Predator movie?
I don't know. Maybe,
Now he's like a director.
No clue.
He did a Predator movie.
maybe sounds
think so.
familiar. There's been a few Shane Blacks.
Are you sure?
At least
There's
one
not
or
just-
two.
There's not just the one.
There's one or
Are
two.
you sure?
Well, I'm
you
not
sure?
positive. I'll have Google with me right now.
Well, there's Shane Black and Sean White.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
All right.
Okay. No, let's wrap this up. Shall
Yeah.
Wrap it up like a Christmas present.
we? You out there? You a fan of comic book films? Do you like celebrating panels on screen? Do you think they're stupid? we want to hear from you. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Just reach out to us. We want to talk about film and comic books and all that good stuff. And for anybody out there that is feeling mentally unwell, we just want to let you know that you matter, not just to us, but to those that are around you. And it's important to talk about the stuff going on in your head. So if you can't do that with us, you can't do that with those that are around you. We're going to have links in our description so you can seek some help if you need it. But until next time, I've been Harvey.
Dave Shergold.
I'm Batman.
No,
You
I'm
wish.
Batman.
No, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
No, I'm Batman.
No, I'm Batman.
Pow.
Ah!
I'm Batman.
I'm Robin.
Bummer.
Damn. Oh. Wait, with tights and all?
I'm going to say, wait till I get those tights on. Next week.
That always reminds me of, you guys ever watch a show called Ripping Friends? No, it's John Chrisfaluzzi, Ren and Stimpy guy,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
And it's about these 3 adopted brothers who are superheroes,
Okay.
and they have to go fight, in this one episode, have to go fight this guy called Man, and he's just a man.
Ah.
All his suits are flesh covered, and his
Oh my
sidekick is
God.
Boy.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
Anyway,
All right. Yeah. So, anyway.
And there you go. Just like that, you got yourself sarcastically distracted. Thanks so much for getting distracted with us, and have yourselves a great night. Peace.
bye now.
Care.